Yeah, and it's my mom. Hang on a minute, this will be fun. Mom, I'm gaming right now!
Yes. Yes, you are.
Mom, I'm gaming right now! With my friends, Mom!
Hey, don't forget about me! Hey, I'm here too!
Mom! I'm gaming with my friends! What do you want?
Hey,
And I'm streaming, Mom! Mom!
I'm hanging up.
I love you, Mom.
Only 5 minutes left. A fire team that fights together stays together. Double down. Tell them to line up faster. Fantastic work.
Oh my God. I didn't just do that, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I think Marv would have been very proud of me in that moment.
I have the holocron. See here. You didn't make it, Grease.
Here? Did you get out?
Ah! Ah! I don't know what happened there. Wikipedia for me, but I have a Wikipedia. And I hate it. Oh wait, is that an empty? Tell me that's an empty suit. Okay, it's an empty suit. Okay. Oh, but I don't like the music that's playing. I do not care for the music that is playing right now. And there's a lot of ammo around here. I could have swore that was somebody hanging there.
Which should be the upcoming update that's...
What the hell is that?
That is Barry! Barry! So you gotta say hey to Barry.
So is this the haunted house in the Halloween season?
More or less.
And they just keep all their
just keep going along. You're doing fine.
Oh fuck! What was that? What was that? What the hell is that?
What was that? I don't know. You tell me.
What was that? Okay, yeah. You know what? You know I will get you for this.
Yeah,
I will get you.
Bullshit! You're the one, dude. You're the one that took me to TWA at night. I don't want to fucking.
Oh, well, I missed this.
All right. Anything on your EMF?
Do you want to play ball with me? Okay.
We are off and running, chat. Here we go. All right, Phil, move forward. Now, Phil, I will tell you right now, I will not leave you alone in this game. Open this door, Phil. Open this door to your left.
The one that I'm okay.
Yeah, the one on the left. Okay, walk in there. And read what is on the portrait, Phil.
How was that? Was that you?
No.
Because I didn't read anything, and I just heard a noise.
No, just
Magna.
This is awesome.
That switch does not seem to do anything. Exactly. It just shuts off the armor.
It shuts off the armor.
All right, let me see if there's a switch over here. These switches here.
That was not us.
Again. All right.
I think I heard Sabrina say mom.
Huh?
What? I thought you were in another room.
No, she didn't say anything.
Did you not?
I heard that.
I thought that was.
I thought that was Serena. I heard Mom.
Me too.
I heard it too.
It wasn't.
That was not a real person.
I'll tell you what, I know, I'm gonna take a seat over here.
Maker.
The maker. You're probably told not to speak to strangers. And that's fine. That's fine. My name is T. And over there's my...
Was that you squeaking?
Ooh, no, that wasn't. I heard that.
Yeah, that's now I hear you squeaking.
I heard
What was that? It sounded like a voice.
I don't... It did.
Yeah, it wasn't your because
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't.
It
Nothing got
sound
caught
like
in my throat. There was. I marked it, but it was a mumble. Did you heard that, right?
100%.
Cat, I swear, are you really doing this to me? Are you seeing this? Ah! Damn it, Cat! Don't. Oh my God! The cat. You little jerk! Man? What did you do to my game, Cat? I swear to God.
That's still going off in there, Tina. I would like the cat balls. Someone needs some cat balls.
What was that?
Someone needs some cat balls. You have.
What is that? What is that? Do you hear that, Pip? It's a very wow. Hang on. It's a very rushed. It sounds like a rushed whisper.
Someone needs some cat balls.
I'm now slowing it down to 175. I'm hearing turn around. Does anyone else hear that? Which is ironic when you think about it, because usually people say, "Oh, all theaters are haunted." I don't think all theaters are haunted.
Well, this one's definitely definitely.
I mean, something's.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
They're just not talking to us right now.
they're just not talking to us right now.
You want to go into the green room?
But I ask you, since when does an actor never want to talk about themselves?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, it's me, Twitch Dad, and I'm here. Yeah, this is where it starts to get super creepy. This is the game Cyberpunk 2077 wanted to be, chat. I'm just going to come out and say it. This is the game Cyberpunk 2077 wanted to be. So, there you go.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her.
Okay. Glad I got that out of my system. Overriding it could destroy my software. But I made that choice when I hooked into that first computer and the consequences it would bring. I'm sorry we went to see the outside together. Thought I needed to carry on the memories of humanity to hold on to the past. But I see futures in companions and you. Here, let me take that off of you. You were my friend, the very best I could have asked for. Oh, damn it. This is gonna be another Last of Us ending where I cry, isn't it? I'm tearing up already. Oh. He's headbutting him. Oh. Oh, my heart! Oh, my heart! Oh. am I crying at a video game? Oh my god. I did it, hon. I did it, hon. I finished Stray. Worth every minute. Worth every minute. I'll move you back just a little bit.
What?
I wonder if she's pregnant.
She does look like. I was just wondering if her belly was a little bit big.
Yeah,
Maybe that might be why she's hungry.
that might be.
So, Jack, you are upset that Wesley fought for Virginia, fought against his own people from Gettysburg. That must have been aggravating.
Did someone just? Did you just whisper? Did you just whisper?
Keep going. Everything you got.
Oh, I don't know. I'm worried.
He's back at red.
Come on.
Oh no.
Steve
We got him.
Saylor? Steve Saylor? You did it! You did it! Congratulations, Steve Saylor! You just picked up your second seal, and it's a motherfucking raid seal! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
I fucking love it when T gets hyped.
With a teammate entirely of your clan. Hold on. I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Yeah, you just saw 80 inches of me touching my nipples on your wall. You're never gonna look at your wall the same way again. Okay. All right, everybody. So good to have you all back. Little bit of Twitch Dad wisdom for you all today on this Tuesday, February 27th. Don't ever second guess yourself. Don't ever second guess yourself, and don't you dare ever let somebody else define your worth. You are more powerful, you are smarter, and you are stronger than you realize. How you doing, everybody? How you doing? What'd you walk in on, man? You walked in on a you walked in on that's right. You probably haven't seen that part. I don't think you've actually seen, Brad, the entirety of the hype reel. I think all of my hype reels are going to end with that nipple clip, because, man, pardon the pun, I just think the nipple clip, is it is the essence of that is the T monster. It really is. It really is. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you very much, Lizard, by the way, for that resub. How about that? You could just use that Twitch Prime sub anywhere, and you chose to use it here. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being part of the Monster Mash, a brand new part of the Monster Mash. But that's what I try to do, Lizard. I try to find something out of my day that I can pass on to your day, and if it makes a difference, that's what I want to get across. That's what I'd like to try to do with this channel. I would like to try to do, I'll stop. Come on, Lizard. I appreciate that, but come on. A lot of good people out there. And the way I look at it is that everybody is here, and everybody's ready to have a good time, even if a is involved. And I appreciate the affirmations coming from you all. It's part of a discussion, actually a two-pronged discussion that I think I need to go back and have with my stream consultant, because I feel like tonight is the night that we really delve into. This is the night where we start working on growth and improvement of the stream. And I say that because again, took another hit with the subs. I was expecting it. Mentally, I was expecting it, bam, bam. And that's fine. I'm not changing the, oh, you know what I want to do though? I do want to get the goals back, because I was trying to figure out what little step I forgot to do. And I realized that I don't want to customize the progress bar. I want to, there's the browser source. Set the browser source with 1480.160. Okay. 1480.160. I did want to bring this back in here because, I'm still very proud of the progress that I've made. But right now this is the part this is the part where it was a little hard for me after the Markiplier raid. But the one thing I can say now, looking back on the Markiplier raid, is that it did teach me, look, T, not every goal, not everything that you think is going to happen after a monster raid like what happened with Doug is going to suddenly equate into sub count and partnership. So I have to focus now on making sure that I can keep the momentum going, and do what I can. And right now I'm coming off a full week. It was a full friggin' week of streaming, and I thought that the streaming was, I was thrilled with how well the streams went. I haven't done a week-long stream like that in quite some time. Nice to know I can still stream like a rock star too. You know what I'm saying? 160, and we go close, and I can bring this down here. Now, I haven't decided quite yet what I want to do for the next sub goal. Tempting as it is to just go ahead and say, yeah, I'll do another Titan Taco Tuesday. I'm thinking more along the lines of, well, do I really want to do another Titan Taco Tuesday? I mean, yes, I do, because I'm gonna make it for the kids, of course, but it doesn't always have to be Titan Taco Tuesday. I think I may make the sub count again. I may do the VR thing again because I'm digging the idea of doing a VR. I want to keep it fresh. I also want to keep it fresh, and or it could be another cooking stream. I could just do a straight up another cooking stream. But whatever I want to do, gaming with subs or VR, that's another one, Cammy. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay. So, I've said okay, and sub goal disappeared. Why did the sub goal disappear? Or the stream goal disappear? There it is. Okay, we got it now. And let's see, the follower goal, that's gonna stay the same. I mean, gaming with subs, that's easy. I mean, gaming with subs to me is that's not even work. That's just a that's just a joy. That's just something I definitely enjoy doing. All right, I'm gonna leave this one up, and then I'll bring it in for the next one. So anyway, yeah, chat. I'm thinking about what my streamer consultant, the good folks over at Streamer Square, were telling just this past week. They were talking about the importance, or actually it was last week. They were talking about the importance of raids. And how raids, yes, but I gave you pumpkin at the beginning of this. I gave you pumpkin at the beginning of this. Did you eat all of your pumpkin? Let me see if Gamercat, let me see if Benedict has finished his pumpkin. Hold on. Oh, you did. Wow. Oh, you tore through that. He finished his pumpkin, chat. Finished his pumpkin. He just tore right through that.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Gotta go in here, buddy. Okay, there we go. The Verbolten Tower? No, there's this is fine. This tower is fine. The one I have to be careful about is the one that's got the Tomb Raider book on it. But real quick, the kittens are fine. Everybody's getting some treats right now. Benedict getting extra treats because he finished up his pumpkin. Oh, the one outside. Yeah. That's Vise. That's Vise. But like I said, she was talking about the how raids benefit streamers, particularly when big raiders go up against smaller streamers like myself. And the thing is that I'm like, yeah, it's great and all, but then you get a very false sense of security. Especially if it's a monster raid. You get this weird sense of security that hey, I'm on the way. And it's like, well, no, because you can't guarantee that everybody from that raid is going to come back for more streams. Now, I've been very lucky that I do feel like we have grown, and I have seen the growth, and I'm thrilled with it. Like, I did not realize that so many people from the Doug raid were into the paranormal, and because they came on over here, and now they're like, oh, hey, man, we just hit the mother load, baby, and everybody's excited about it, and that kind of enthusiasm and that kind of excitement is great. You can't always count on that, though. You can't always count on that. And and please do not think that I am I'm whinging or I'm upset or anything. I could not be happier. It's a bit like what's going on with the paranormal streams. I've been really, really happy with the past few streams. Before you guys even got here, before you experienced Wayside Inn, I had an absolute blast with a couple of streams where we didn't have any dropouts at all. And these were streams in Gettysburg. And you found me through the Discovery page. Really? Now that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that, Cammy. I thought you found me through Doug. That's interesting. So anyway, the and the other thing too that I've been trying to take advantage of is Twitch Stories. Twitch Stories has actually been getting me a few eyeballs. Now I could see a spike in the Twitch Stories when Doug raided, and then afterwards. But even afterwards, I'm just like, that's actually that's pretty significant. The only thing I didn't do tonight was I didn't put something on Instagram. But Instagram IG has really been disappointing me lately. I'm lucky if I get 10 people liking my "Hey, I'm going live" posts. And even if I do even if I just do a post for funsies, I'm not getting a lot of traffic anymore. And one of the things that I can say about Instagram when you're boosting posts on Instagram, yeah. Most of the time it's getting you analytics. That's about it. You're basically paying for analytics. I can honestly say we did not move that many books when we were pushing stuff with IG. So I am putting Lizard, don't get me wrong. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not putting in the work. No, I know I'm putting in the work. But I will say that there is a lot of luck. There is a lot of luck involved. And I get that, because that was the other thing I was going to cite from Streamer Square. This past week, Loco had a really interesting topic of conversation, which was, is streaming hard work? Is streaming as tough as a day job? Came from a guy named Hassan, who kind of put his foot into it. And I'm not going to pile on and go, oh, this guy's living in an ivory tower, yada, yada, yada. What happened was he was taken out of context. he was doing a compare and contrast to what it was like being a streamer versus having a corporate day job. And somebody who obviously had an axe to grind with Hassan, keep in mind too, Hassan, he streams about politics. So, yeah. So he streams about politics, and he used to work for Young Turks, which is, I don't mind saying, it's a very left wing. It's, you know, there are extremes on both sides of that political fence. I tend to lean more left than right. But even some left wingers, I go, whoa, pump the brakes. You got to have a more open mind about that. And Young Turks, sometimes I grok with what they're saying. Other times I'm like, okay. But Hassan used to work for those guys. And Hassan is now a streamer. He occasionally does games. He's pulling down 7 to 8 figures. He's doing just fine for himself. But he did say something that was taken out of context. And even if it wasn't taken out of context, I would have been like, wait a second. He basically said that that in a nutshell, he said a standard 9-to-5 job is not nearly as soul sucking as streaming full time, being a full time content creator. Now, here's what I would take umbrage to that. This is where my happy place is. This and ghost hunting is where my happy place is. This is where I love to reside, where I hang out with everybody, where I'm doing this. I'm talking off the top of my head. I'm having a great time doing this. I'm not piling on with what Hassan said, but I will give him a slight wag of the finger. I have had soul sucking corporate jobs. I've had soul sucking government jobs. My happiest job, the happiest I ever was without being here, was when I was working with code.gov. Code.gov was an incredible experience. First time I ever had a really kick-ass title, Chief of Communications. And I loved that. I loved the people that I worked with. We were a small, scrappy team, and we were the last initiative that Barack Obama signed into law. And it was pretty ballin'. It was a great experience, because this was a government group that was encouraging agencies to use open source code and then turn it back over to the people. And it was one of I remember one of our tagline was it's not only our code, it's your code. And the other one we had was code on. That was our sign off, code on. Yeah, you remember Marv, you remember. I loved working with code, and the days would fly by. I loved working with those people. I also found out that there were some shady shenanigans happening in the background, and they were looking to get code absorbed. They didn't want to shut it down like a lot of other Barack Obama initiatives. They didn't want to shut it down, but they wanted to quietly, have it absorbed by something else, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, I didn't just do what they wanted me to do. I went above and beyond what they wanted me to do. And the person that they replaced me with did not have game. How you doing there, Panic? Good to see you. But the job that I held after that, man, the Securities and Exchange Commission, sweet crap, this place was a cesspool of misery. I don't mind saying it. It was, if someone were to come to me today and say, hey, we got another chief of comms job, we're really excited about this, it's a great position, here's the paycheck that goes with it, I'm like, great, where is it? Security Exchange Commission. I'll be like, pass. Hard, best way to put it,
hard no.
And I can sum up the experience of working at the Securities and Exchange Commission. I was in the bathroom doing what you do when you're in the bathroom, and I heard a guy come in, Used the stall next to me. Stall door closed. And I'm waiting. I'm like, he's not walking to the sinks. He's not walking to the sinks. And sure enough, I hear the door going out. That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And I don't mind saying it too. I don't mind saying this at all. I was laid off by the Securities and Exchange Commission. 2 weeks later, that building had a COVID outbreak. When they didn't have a vaccine. Let's take a look at this here. Had some folks hit me up on Facebook asking why I blocked their numbers. My phone keeps dropping service with no warning. Are you with AT&T? Apparently a known device issue, but since I have a crack on my screen, I pay my deductible for a manufacturer defective. Well, there you go. There you go. I wanted to also scroll back to something. Scroll back to something that was said earlier. It's like broadcasting your life in a way, but you do it, of course. You have the private life, which we all respect that. But sometimes people lose that boundary, and it is draining. Yes, no, it's draining because you're constantly on. You know, and this is why I would say corporate jobs are hard. So streaming, I think they're equally streaming, and they both have pluses and minuses. Okay, first off, is this hard for me to sit down here and fire up the mic and put on some music and talk to you all? No, I love doing it. So to me, that's the easy part of the job. Hard part of the job is dealing with the analytics. Because even though, and I did see some comments earlier about, but T, there's sometimes a loss of being a big time streamer, and you're right. I was saying this about Doug. Again, not a criticism, just an observation. The only reason Doug even saw my post was because that night he made me a VIP, and power to you, my man. I respect that. But when you have 5 or 10,000 people in your chat, you're not going to catch everything. You're not going to see everything. Even on slow mode, it's just going to be one thing after another. I was stunned today when I got a shout out on the Twitch channel. I saw on the Twitch channel, I was seeing that Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, and several others, including I'm blanking on her name. She's the CMO of Twitch. She's the Chief Marketing Officer of Twitch. Really nice woman. Met her both TwitchCon 2022 and 23. Really nice lady. Give me a second and I will find out. Because I hate the fact I've got to get better at names, but I know who they are. Super nice individual, and she was watching Dan's chat for him, and somehow my chat got through, and I think it got through. Because yeah, Rachel was her name. Rachel saw my tweet come through, and she basically read it off, and I was stunned. But that was because they probably had it flagged on, hey, look for these. They had someone heavily moderating Twitch's channel for obvious reasons. When you have a certain number of people just start coming into your chat, you can't keep up. You just can't. And some people are okay with that. Some people want to be like, notice me, senpai. And then there are other people who are just, they're cool with their message going out into the ether, and maybe it'll get picked up, And that's the way I was. I wanted to know, and if anybody was curious, I wanted to know if Dan Clancy was using Streamlabs or he was using his phone or something else. He was using the IRL Unlimited backpack, which is an investment. That's one of those. I mean, I know I've talked about it before on the stream, but what I was saying was that one of the other demands over the corporate job, one of the other demands of doing, because someone asked me, someone said, you should be doing this full time, T. You should just, you know, pack in the day job and just go in full time. I'm like, okay, great, but I don't have the numbers to compensate for other things, like health benefits. I don't rake in that much money from Twitch for health benefits. Also, 401k. I got to set aside some time for 401k. As much as I would love, and I probably will because I'm 55 and I'm still streaming because I enjoy it. But you know, I still need a 401k. If/when I said, you know what, tapping out, I'm done. And then you've got, you know, along with the benefits, the 401k, you have dental. I got to make sure dental's covered. I got to make sure I can make house payments. And what people don't realize when you are a content creator, I'm not just talking specifically about, yes, I am. And that was one of the things you were talking earlier about keeping stuff private. One of the things I didn't do, Marv was there for it. But when I turned 55, I thought in the back of my head, should I stream it? And I thought, no, that's for me. This is for me. And I had a 55th birthday party. I had a 55th birthday party in a haunted house. It was at Linville Manor. It was at Linville Manor. And I had an absolute blast. It wasn't because I wasn't streaming it. I was just having a blast. It was my birthday, and I was having it in a haunted house. How much more rock star could you get? But these are the benefits that you don't get when you're when you have a corporate job. Now, all that being said, the other thing that you get with a corporate job that you don't necessarily get by being a content creator, and again, I'm not singling out streaming. I'm talking about whether it's podcasting, I've been watching on Threads Aaron Menke, the guy who is the host of Lore. Man, he's got some strong opinions about not only podcasting, but also about things like advertising and how advertising is handled. You think it's bad on Twitch. The advertising dollar in podcasting is redonkulous, and people get real pissy about it. And that's another thing. That's another thing I would say that corporate that is a corporate perk versus content creation. When you are in corporate America, you're on your desk, you're managing things, you're getting stuff done, and you know you're the cog in a giant machine, right? Okay, Misery, blah blah blah, Terry Gilliam's Brazil, so on and so forth. However, when you are in content creation, and that includes, and this is what I include in it, television, film, writing, music. You notice I'm not really, I haven't even covered streaming, but I did put it under content creation because this is an arm of entertainment. Being a theater major, being a former professional actor, I understand that going into it. A lot of people, when they start streaming, they don't look at this. They don't look at this as an arm of entertainment. They look at it as gaming. They look at it as something fun. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get some spending money, or something like that, so I can do stuff at, No, you're an entertainer. Entertainers are contractors, but you're an entertainer nonetheless. And I'll never forget this. It's where I feel like I dodged a bullet as a writer. I knew a writer. I knew a writer. It's coming back to bite her in the ass, sadly. I knew a writer who actually went on.
Lots of motion ahead.
Lots of motion ahead.
Bad feeling about this. It's the hive.
I've awoken the hive. That was a good one to play too. That's what Dinklebot. But one of the things that this writer did that I thought was kind of in poor taste was she was bragging about how much money she was making as a successful writer, as a New York Times best-selling writer. And just recently, they posted in social media this mini rant. Posted this little mini rant about how, I wish people who, complained about my books and gave me bad reviews out of spite and criticized me for going off and spending time with my family, or, get upset with me because I got sick. I wish they would understand that there's a person on the other end of that book. It seems like the public just doesn't make that connection. No, they don't. Not making any references to anyone here. Let's make that clear. But you reach a certain level, people do not give two F's about whether you're sick, whether your dog is sick, or what is happening in your personal life. They only want their content, and they want it delivered to them promptly. The bullet that I dodged was, I remember a friend of mine, let me rephrase that, an acquaintance of mine, because apparently when I stopped writing, I was no longer deemed essential in this friend's life, which was heartbreaking. That happens sometimes, but I continue. This friend of ours was actually trying to suggest that Pip and I write romance novels. And I'll never forget, she was averaging 4 to 6 novels a year. And I'm going to say that again for the kids in the back. 4 to 6 novels a year.
It's a trap.
And the reason I call it a trap is because what was going on was what if she did not write 4 to 6, or no, if she posted something like yeah, I'm going to take a break. She was popular enough that she had people like send her tagged, at that time, tweets and Facebook posts basically saying, no, you need to get work on the next novel. And that's my point, is it wasn't even in jest. It was, you need to keep writing. You need to write more. You're already underwriting as is. The person that I was citing earlier, who was complaining that the public seemed insensitive, she was averaging over, and I'll say this again, over 8 books a year. Now, granted, I read a couple of her books and they felt pretty phoned in, but that's a personal opinion, and that's a criticism I'm keeping to myself. But yeah, she was writing at one point 8 to 10, over 8 books a year, and people were still trying. And I saw it. I saw readers crack a whip with these writers saying, "You need to really focus on your talents and write more." And this is while they're signing somebody's book. And it can, Lizard. It can absolutely drain you. And I'll go even one step further. How many out there tonight remember or have seen a TV show that's streaming? I'm trying to remember where you can find it. I think it's on Amazon. But there's a show on Amazon called Farscape. And it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it was one of my favorite shows. Brad and I have had this conversation before. It was I considered it one of the best shows ever produced, not just for sci-fi, but just for science fiction television on a whole. And I was a massive fan of this show, massive fan. So imagine my joy when I get a phone call from the convention agent of one of the actors, who said, "Hey, you comped Lonnie a copy of Moravian." I said, "Yeah, I did. I hope he enjoyed it." He goes, "Well, we were talking about you. Lonnie wants to do a workshop, but he wants to do a workshop on writing. He wants to do a workshop about this, about how do you create content? He's a teacher by heart." And he wants to do it about writing. He wants to be writing centric, but he's not a writer. You are. Would you be interested in doing a workshop with Lonnie Tupu? Well, obviously I got all the fanboy stuff out of me real quick. And then Lonnie and I put together this really cool all-day workshop called From Page to Stage, where we took a scene from one of my books and we adapted it for film, for stage, for whatever. And we had an absolute blast doing this. Now, one of the perks of me sitting with Lonnie Tupu, now if you're curious as to who Lonnie Tupu is, in Farscape, he was the voice of Pilot. He was also Commander Crace, so he was the big bad for quite a few seasons. Hey, Cobalt, good to have you in stream. And Lonnie and I, well, because we were working together for this this workshop, they went on ahead and they paired me up with him, and we sat at a table together. So I went on my side I would do podcasting for dummies and Moravia and Billy and all that stuff. On the other side, Lonnie would be selling headshots and meeting and greeting fans. He was way busier than I am, but that gave me a chance to watch fans. And I'm going to put big quotes around the word fans. Go up to him and critique his performance. Critique the writers, holding him responsible for stuff that was way out of the park, that he had nothing to do. And these fans would, and then some fans who didn't even like the show would come up to Lonnie. And I guess they were expecting Lonnie to, get these messages back to the people in the cast, saying, yeah, here's one of the biggest problems I've got with Farscape. I'm watching all this go down. And at one point it lulls down and I lean over to Lonnie and go, Lonnie, can I ask you a question? And Lonnie was the ultimate professional. He's like, of course, T, what would you like to know? Kiwi bloke. And I said, how do you do that? And Lonnie sat there and he just went, ah. He knew exactly what I was talking about, because I've had to deal with that. As a writer, I've had people come up and literally bend the spine of my books. This is to decide whether or not they wanted to buy it. And they'd read the end and then decide yay or nay.
Shuffle.
Exactly. I had some people pick this up and go, I don't read this crap. Literally. With me sitting there, I don't read this crap. But of course, when that happens, oh yeah, my entire attitude changed. But Lonnie did not falter, and he was getting it by a factor of 10 way worse than me. And I just asked him, how do you do that? Because I can't do that. And Lonnie said, well, you got to understand something here, T. And he was great about this. He said, when I'm here, I'm representing the show. And this is and as you know, if you act up, if you do something out of context, or if you do something really out of line, that could cost me my job. And when I'm not doing my job, I'm here because I need to make money to, keep a roof over the head and, make sure that bills are getting paid and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And he said, so I come to these events knowing that I'm going to deal with every idiot that's in this community. And I was like, okay. He said, I'm also going to get people who do not know how to talk to who do not know how to talk to to fellow humans, because they don't get out much. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, and then you get that one fan. You get that one person that comes in and basically said, I was going through a divorce. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what my trajectory was in life. And I started watching Farscape. And it was that beacon of hope that kept me going until I could see the next show, and then the next show, and then the next show. And that's when you go, oh, this is one of the reasons why I do it. And he goes, And if I meet 5 people like that in one day, that's a really good day at the office. It was something like that, and it really stuck with me. That is something that people who have a corporate job, they will never know what that's like. They will never grasp that is one of the things that you have to deal with. It's intense. It's very intense. And you know, and I do think that there are some soul-sucking things. I refuse to believe, though, and I will never believe that doing content creation in any way, shape, or form is as soul-sucking as corporate America. No. That I will disagree with to the nth degree with Hassan. I will. But I do think that this is hard work. Any kind of content creation is hard work, especially when you launch into a podcast. And if people are really digging the podcast, but then you suddenly lose the fire for it, you know, what do? Do you just keep producing the podcast? Going back to something Scott said, that can be soul sucking. That can really make you lose the joy. If you lose the joy of creating stuff, it's hard. It's hard to keep it going. And the thing with podcasting, you know, I would say this, Brad. The thing about podcasting, where I think it is not only different, it is different. It is different what Lonnie is dealing with, but it's also the same. Because I primarily podcast books. I primarily podcast stories, and people either dig the stories or they don't, and they'll tell me exactly why they did or didn't like a story. And but then when people are criticizing podcasting for dummies, and I have had the odd people come to me and say, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a clue. That's not podcasting. I could do this, and this, and I could call it a podcast." And I said to that person, well, yeah, I could also do this, and this, and call it rocket science, and people will look at me like I'm an idiot. So if you're okay with looking like an idiot, you go right ahead. But until someone tells me different, until you write a book and say, hey, I'm doing this entire call out that basically saying T. Morris is wrong because of this, until then, we're sticking with my definition of what a podcast is and how to do it. And even then, between the 3rd and 4th edition, even my perspective of podcasting changed. Now that's a subject for another time. But the point I'm getting at is that there are people that make it sound like, I mean, it goes back to something that I learned very quickly because I had this happen to me. Moravia, my very first novel, Moravia took a year to produce, to edit, to get it all polished up and to put it out there. And I've had people, numerous people at events come up to me and go, I spent 3 days reading your book. Let me tell you what's wrong with it.
You better settle down over there. I'm going to come talk to you.
I mean, what do you say in a situation like that? What do you say? And the problem is, yes, you could be that author. You could be that author that basically draws a line in the sand and just you know, you could be a total dick about it. You could. But then but when you're starting off as a writer, you kind of want to, you know, make sure that people think that you're agreeable, that people enjoy it, that people enjoy, I mean, and where it comes from, Scott, I mean, look, it comes from people saying, "Oh, that's easy," or "I could do it." And okay, and that's the funny thing. When I did the most popular thing I think I've ever done, with the exception of on my personal YouTube, the most popular thing, the thing that I'm still getting hate over, is where I talk about Cyberpunk 2077, and I said no patch can fix bad writing. And I basically say And in the early points of when I posted this thing about Cyberpunk 2077, and I talk about the hype and I talk about all the push, and then we got Cyberpunk 2077, and it was just a terrible story. It was just really bad writing. And what really set off people was I compared the writing to Cyberpunk to the writing in The Last of Us Part 2. And of course, I knew what I was doing. I used The Last of Us as exceptional storytelling because one, it was a sequel, and two, it blew my mind. It was a punch to the chest. But man, the incels came out of the woodwork. And I said, well, you know, and for many of these people that just, they would tell me that The Last of Us Part 2 totally sucked and was a failure. And I basically said, look, I think you're missing the point. And also, can you give me some background on you? Are you a writer yourselves? And you can see it in the comments. People will be like, being a writer is not that big of a deal. Being a writer is that I heard this several times, Scott. Being a writer isn't that big of a deal. I could go out and be published in Amazon tomorrow if I wanted to. I go, okay, do so. Do it. And hi, Islander, how you doing, man? Spooky, scary skeletons, yes. I'd be the first one to say, do it. Write yourself a book right now. Write yourself a book right now. And then publish it. See how easy it is. And that is the thing. It is very easy to get published, but then you've got to write the book. You better get an editor to edit the book, and then you've got to look at how the edits are done. And then there is a notion that anybody can get published. And here's the thing, that's true. But the excuse me. But the reason why not everyone in the world is published, thank you, is because you got to write it first. And if you have ChatGPT do it for you, well, then you got to worry about being caught for plagiarism. And keep that in mind, because we're going to talk a little bit about AI tonight. And that's the thing, is that I do think that there is a weird responsibility that you have as a content creator when you come on and you're creating content, whether it's writing, whether it's music, and people are just like more. And that is very intense to deal with. That is very intense. Write faster. And I'm like, well, and you know, I was an illustrator for a book once, later learned they were terrible publishers. Yeah, that's rough too. And there's something else, man. There's something else to know about all this relationship that you have with the general public when you're a content creator. Yes, it can be intense. Yes, it can be exhausting. It really can be. It can also be just as equally rewarding. Oh, I know, Lizard. I'm watching the time. And in roughly 10 minutes time, we're gonna be starting up the Grim Gazette. Okay? Yeah, everybody stay cool. I haven't gone completely off target here.
Stay on target.
I am. I've got this. But one of the things that also question, bring in that question. Bring that question in. But yeah, but what I was going to say was that it can be very, very tough. But anybody that's an illustrator, anybody that's an artist that's in chat right now, any content creator says, okay, look, you can have it fast, or you can have it right, or you can have it for cheap. And you know, you can't have it fast, cheap, and good. It's gonna be either going to be good, it might be fast, but it'll be, yeah. Pick two. I have, and we still haven't gotten a notification, so I'm going to double check with Pip to see if she got a notification. But I'm gonna check on that. You do get what you pay for, Cobalt. You do. And even for some people, Pick 2 can be a luxury. It can be a luxury. And we're also going to talk a little bit about that coming up on tonight. But you know, I'm just going to wrap this little side discussion up a little bit with chatting and all. I love this. If I did not love this, and I have made sure that Pip knows that as well, because for a while, chat, it was I wasn't sure if this was going to be a thing, because I just, you know, streaming to a smaller group and watching it get smaller, that was hard. It is hard. It wasn't hard. Now I'm over it. Even with, you know, with the Doug raid, it's hard, period. In fact, I would argue it's even harder. Well, and I appreciate that too. I appreciate you too, you know? I mean, yeah. Come on. I'm looking for the right one here. Yeah. Here it is.
I got to say, that's what I appreciate about you.
That's
what I appreciate about you.
And there we go. We got dueling Squirrely Dans out here. I mean, if I didn't enjoy it, and I made that clear to Pip when she saw that she said, I don't want this to become a burden on your mental health. And I'm like, it's not. The only point where it gets frustrating is I see people doing far less with far less effort, and they're doing insanely well. But at the same time, I go, yeah, but you know what? The people that are coming in on the regular, they get it. They know, oh, hey, there's some good stuff here. And there's not only good stuff here, but there's also stuff that's going to keep me coming back. And also, I feel better after I've heard that from all of you quite a bit, that you all feel better after this stream. And that's a beautiful thing. And I know, Marv, I know that was a frustration for you. Because it's hard. Because it's not even an issue of, you know, I love it when people say, well, don't look at the analytics. No, you have to look at the analytics. Especially, I never looked at my analytics in podcasting. But my analytics on Twitch, if I want to grow, if I want to get partnered, if I want to do that sort of thing, you know, I gotta push forward, and I gotta learn analytics and figure out what is and isn't working. And yeah, I mean, you know, there's time management, but which brings me to something else. You reminded me. Thank you, Cammie. One of the things that I do have to, that I've always said about this stream is, or any kind of content creation, whether it's podcasting, whether it's streaming, you can't let the platform or the content itself run your life. You have to be in control of the content, not the other way around. And I say that because Friday I may have to cancel that stream because I have a situation that's going to need my attention, and it's going to happen on Friday. I think that's the best way to describe it. So going back though, I wanted to see real quick what's going on here. Tad T's talking about AI. Dad found out that the bank he uses for the house loan is using AI to appraise the house values instead of paying a person whose job it is to do that, because it only costs them $15 instead of cha-ching. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's that was the thing, Marv. I mean, it is, and that's another thing that I've heard people say, I think is a great misnomer of streaming. Don't compare yourself to other people. Oh no. It's impossible for me to do that because you're trying to figure out what is the secret sauce that they are doing. the thing that really irks me, there was a guy who was literally streaming while he was traveling from this one point in Europe to Dubai, and he literally put a looped footage of a plane, and it was the plane that he was on, the make and model or whatever, and the airline. But it basically said, and it had just chat. This was in the just chatting category. I come downstairs. I'd left it on, so I was basically hopping from one channel to another. And this guy's got a looped video of a plane from he actually had Microsoft Flight Simulator, but he wasn't playing. It was a looped video from Microsoft Flight Simulator. And there's no policy that says, why Twitch has never broken that down. I can only assume it's because it's viewers. But here was the thing that really just broke me about this guy and his Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. He had about 250 people watching. And I'm like, what are these people doing? And he was playing looped music. Don't know if it was stream safe or not, but he was playing looped music through the whole thing. And in my opinion, you are not creating content at that point. Now, that's my opinion. That is my opinion. It doesn't change the fact that 250 people were watching a stream that they knew nobody was interacting with, but they had their own community there. And I've seen people do that with sleep streams. Those I find a little spooky. The fact that you've got people that well, there you go. There you go, Brad. But when people film themselves or stream themselves sleeping, or they literally will take a nap. They'll say, I'm doing a 36-hour stream, but then they will spend 8 hours saying, hey, they put up a BRB, and then they take a nap. But I mean, and again, 150, 250 people watching somebody sleep. That's creepy as hell. That's exactly. And I mean, and it is frustrating. I totally get it. And I was one of those people that enjoyed watching Marv stream. I did. And my thoughts, and I know I've had this conversation with Steve about it too. I'm like, look, if you're streaming, stream because you want to stream. Stream because you're there, right? Sleep streams are the feet pics. Thank you, secondhand. Thank you. Abso-friggin-lutely. I totally agree. Oh, nice. That's different. I've seen that. I have seen like puppy cams and kitten cam. I had a kitten cam for a while. As you've seen in my stream, we had a kitten cam watch. Did it get a lot of viewership? Not really. But you know what? It was fun. It was fun because people were invested. And I've seen like conservation. I've seen conservation streams. I've seen, streams of people's aquariums, all kinds of stuff. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. To me, that's someone's personal interest. Plus, they're putting it in the background as ASMR. If it's an aquarium. I mean, most of NASA's stuff is pretty much a camera pointing somewhere and someone streaming it. Like I would say a majority of NASA's programming, when it's not talking heads or experts or anything like that, like when they're doing stuff on the International Space Station, boom, Now, granted, don't watch chat because, man, some of the people that get in chat are like, oh, this looks great. It's studio. It's all fake. It's like, jeez. Dude. Earth's round. Moose out front should have told you. For Pete's sake. Anyway, so that's the thing. And there is a lot of content out there that I, it's completely off the beaten path, and I love it. I love it. But I see what you did there, Brad. But I would also say that it's when people do the stuff like the sleep streams or the, hey, I'm taking a nap, I'll be right back. And they know they can get away with it because there is no policy on Twitch that says if I don't want to, if I want to take an hour's break, I literally could. I could slap on a loop, let my stream play, and I've been tempted to, I won't lie, I've been tempted to try it just to see what would happen. But there is some risk to it as well. The risk being, if you've got the looped footage going, right? If you got the looped footage going and you step away, if people get on your stream and they start talking smack, they start talking like racist, homophobic, all racial slurs, any of that stuff, you're held accountable for that. And you could get banned for it. So that's the risk you take. That's a risk. Would I ever do that to you all? No. I'm not going to say, hey, I'll be right back, and then I'm going to take a nap and then come back the next day. For a charity stream, maybe. Maybe I would take a nap. But even then, I know my limits. I know that I could stream. The longest I think I've ever streamed in a day, 12 hours. I've done 12-hour streams. That's my limit. That's my limit. And you know, it's that I would do, but I would never put on looped video and just take a nap. That would just be, first off, that would be the other thing. Yeah, we'd be like, yeah, everyone would be spamming Sam going, where is your father? And also people would be pissed at me. You know, I know people when they're new to the stream, they're like, what's up with Marv? Marv keeps me accountable. He is both the angel and the devil on my shoulder. And this stream keeps me accountable. And I don't take that for granted. I don't take that for granted at all. Never do. So yeah, He is the OGT, the original gangsta troll, and I love him, the Mad Brit. I love him dearly. All right, everybody. I think it's now time to kick it in, everybody. So let me turn the volume up just a little bit because we're probably going to need volume for stuff that's coming up in here. Oh, but let me also check and see how loud the background music is because I may have to take it down a notch or two. So be ready. I'm turning the music on right now. That's not too bad. But I can take it down about there. And I can tweak this here. Okay, everybody. It's Tuesday night. Do you know where your Bigfoot is? So this is the Grim Gazette, which we're kicking off with a completely non-sequential kind of a weird way to kick this off. But if you come to the live recording on Tuesday night, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say panic. Don't clean anything yet. Get something to eat. Get something to eat. Even if it's just a sandwich from the local Panera, get something to eat. Then if you're feeling nervous and you want to super clean your apartment, you go right ahead. But right now, get something to eat. Okay. This is the Grim Gazette, episode 5. And for those of you new to this, whether you're watching on the replay on YouTube or whether you're watching live on Twitch, every Tuesday night starting at 7-ish, you will know that the Grim Gazette is all about the paranormal, UFOs or UAPs, depending on how you were raised, cryptids, and just overall weird stuff that strikes my fancy. And I think this is probably one of the best ways to start off a brand new episode of the Grim Gazette. Caught at the border with pythons in his pants. New York City man.
This is great.
And
anyone want a hug?
Probation.
No hugs.
Python in the pants. Here we go.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Albany, New York. And a lot of these stories I'm getting from the AP. I'm getting these from the AP Newswire. Albany, New York. A New York City man who admitted to smuggling 3 Burmese pythons in his pants through a U.S.-Canadian border crossing was sentenced Wednesday to a year of probation and fined $5,000. Federal prosecutor said. Calvin Bautista, 38, crossed into northern New York with the hidden snakes on a bus from Montreal to New York City on July 5th, 2018. The young adult snakes were hidden in the inner thigh of his pants in snake bags tied to the pants drawstring. Woo! Okay. Can I get some giggities in chat? We are off and running. Can I get some giggities in chat?
You better settle down over there. I'm going to come talk to you.
They were discovered, oh dear Lord, they were discovered by U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers who are not getting paid enough. According to court documents and a release from the office of U.S. Attorney Carla B. Friedman. The Queens resident purchased the snakes, and I know right now if I've got anybody from the New York area, from the metro area, I'm sure they're going, oh, Queens, okay, that explains a lot. The Queens resident purchased the snakes, which were worth more than $2,500 at a reptile store in Canada, according to court documents. Importation of Burmese pythons is regulated by an international treaty and by U.S. federal regulations, listing them as injurious to human beings. And this guy is putting them in his pants. Well,
Hard no.
The Burmese python, one of the world's largest snakes, giggity, is considered a vulnerable species in its native Asia and is invasive in Florida, where it threatens native animals. Bautista's attorney had no comment.
Figured it.
Whew. Don't get me started on what happened with that poor person. I'm still ticked about that. Okay. I got a few of these. Some from my wife, some from secondhand. We got quite a few of these here. Florida man. And we're off and running already. Florida man threw live gator in Wendy's drive-thru window, police say. West Palm Beach. Alligators have been used as shoes, briefcases, university mascots, lunch, and now authorities say a deadly weapon. Joshua James, 24, was arrested Monday and charged with assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill after Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation officials said he threw a 3.5-foot alligator through a Palm Beach County Wendy's drive-thru window in October. They must have gotten something wrong with his Frosty. And you know the rule, you don't f*** with another man's Frosty. He's also charged with legally possessing an alligator and petty theft. Jail records show he was released on $6,000 bail Tuesday. He is ordered to have no contact with the animals.
What could be greater than golf with a gator?
Gator golf, give it a whack. Gator golf, throw it right back. Gator golf, what could be greater than playing a game of golf with a gator?
Wildlife officer Nicholas Guerin said in his report that James drove his pickup truck. It was a pickup truck, everybody. It was. The insanity writes itself. Wildlife officer Nicholas Green said in his report that James drove up in his pickup truck to the window at about 1:20 a.m. October 11th. After an employee handed James his drink, he threw the alligator through the window and drove off. No one was hurt. Guerin captured the alligator and released it into the wild. Guerin said James was tracked down through video surveillance and a purchase at a neighboring convenience store. Guerin wrote that James admitted throwing the alligator in a December interview. He said James told him he found the alligator on the side of the road and put it in his truck. James' mother, Linda James, told WPVT that her son's actions were a
Stupid prank. He does stuff like this because he thinks it's funny.
She said. She said he meant no harm and had
no problem turning himself in.
That's how I'm picturing what the mom sounds like. No one answered the door at the homes listed to the James family. Phones listed to the family were disconnected. Good gravy. Whoo! We still haven't figured out exactly. We're assuming it's because he thought he was being funny. I would understand if somebody, effed up his Baconator or screwed up his Frosty or peed in his fries, but no, he's just trying to be funny. I guarantee you, he voted for DeSantis, and he is a fucking MAGA hat wearer. I guarantee you. Fucking MAGAs. James P. Ross, a retired scientist at the University of Florida's Department of Wildlife Ecology Conservation, said a 3.5-foot alligator would likely weigh about 20 to 30 pounds. And its hard body could deliver quite a jolt if it struck someone. He said the gator's bite would be comparable to a dog's and would be unlikely to cause serious injury or snap off a finger, although it could tear tendons. Perhaps the biggest concern would be infection if a bite went untreated, he said. The alligator would be unlikely to attack people and more likely to be in a highly traumatized and frightened defensive mode, he said. It could, and quite likely would, snap and lunge at anyone approaching it closely and could project its head and jaws 12 to 18 inches in most any directions. I mean, I'm going to say with some confidence, meth may have been involved. Well, Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a bingo card, isn't it? It is a bingo card of different things. Male, Florida, pickup truck. They interview the mom. Nobody was at home. Phones are cut off. And the mom says he does it because he thinks it's funny. Okay. Okay. You do you, boo. You do you. All right. Now, how do you follow this up? How do you follow this up? Well, again, Wendy's drive-through AM. Yes, that too, Lizard. That's on the bingo card. And all it was he picked up a drink and then he threw the gator. I mean, I guess 20 to 30 pounds. So this guy must have been, I'm just gonna guess. He might have been part of the big man's club. He might, and I don't mean muscular. I mean I'm you know what I'm saying. And I don't mean to sound like, because weight is an issue with me as well. But when you're driving in Wendy's in the dead of night, 1 a.m. and you got a 20 to 30, I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what this guy is doing. Where is he keeping this thing? How is this gator, this 20 to 30 pound, 3.5-foot gator, how is it not trying to work its way? Where did he keep this thing? On the dash, in the passenger seat? Was it one of those pickup trucks that had the compartment in the back? I want to know. Because, man, if I would be that guy, that thing would have gone underneath my seat and taken out my ankles. It was a lap puppy. Probably. So how do you follow this up? Well, this is how you follow it up. And I got sent this again several times. At the Florida Man Games, big crowd cheer competitors evading police and wrestling over beer. Yeah, it's America, everybody. It's friggin' America. Woo. At the Florida Man Games. I think we should probably watch the video. We should probably watch the video. Here we go. Brace for impact. We're going to watch this video.
Now we can selectively eliminate
Now, I can't
cancer-causing
do anything about
proteins
these
inside the
ads.
cell and leave the healthy cells.
All right, here we go. Yep. The most insane athletic showdown on earth.
They gotta steal that. Blam. Don't lose the parts, please. They gotta steal that. They gotta ride with these two. Here's where it gets tricky. Sure, you swerve through those cones. He got a chance to catch up with you here on this one. Swerve through those cones. 3, 2, 1, fight! Here we go. Smallville's takes a big swing.
Oh, that is. I'm just trying to think of the smell coming out of that pool.
What brings you here today?
To watch stupidity occur on the grandest spectacular scale.
What brings you out here today?
To win. To win. I've been in Florida my whole life.
I've got a bid. You can lose a battery.
And they're calling these events. I'm calling this Tuesday afternoon.
What prepares somebody for the Florida Man game?
Experience. Being in Florida. Being in Florida. 3 years, all I did for income was scrapping. So, I mean, the end of one of our events is hitching a trailer. Do that 4 or 5 times a day. So, in the end, I think experience will ultimately overcome and bring home a victory.
The expected ticket sales to exceed 5,000. Do they say how many they sold?
Breast cancer cells multiply
man.
because of CDK4.
Don't worry, there's more. St. Augustine, Florida. No, they used clean water and then just threw dirt in there and I guess mixed it up. That was what I was, because if you look behind the pool, there was some just random dirt back there. St. Augustine, Florida, they rose up by the dozens from across Florida. Caricatured competitors in tank tops and cutoff shorts for a showdown that treats evading police and wrestling over beer like Olympic sports. Promoted as the most insane athletic showdown on earth, the Florida Man Games poke fun at the state's reputation for bizarre stories that involve brawling, drinking, gunfire, reptile wrangling, and other antics carrying a risk of time in jail or intensive care. The games kicked off with a Star-Spangled Banner played on electric guitar, and spectators sipping canned beers behind metal barricades cheered and frequently shouted explicatives as a dozen teams battled in contest inspired by real events from America's most surreal state. James Gordon of DeLand won the first event, wolfing down a plate loaded with barbecue pork and sausage a fraction of a second before his nearest competitor. He chugged a beer to celebrate. I lived in Florida all my life, Gordon said, after washing sauce from his hands and beard. They're calling these events. I'm calling this Tuesday afternoon.
Thursday is one of my days off. My off days, I start drinking at noon. You don't get to interrupt that.
One event had contenders dueling in muddy water in an inflatable pool, pummeling each other with weapons made from pool noodles and duct tape. Another was a theft simulation relay in which competitors raced while toting a pair of bicycles, copper pipes, and catalytic converters. Larry Donnelly trained for the relay race by riding a bicycle around his neighborhood with a second bike strapped to his back. That is what you call commitment. It paid off Saturday when he won his heat after picking up a bike in each hand and running with them. I have an absolute disregard for self-preservation. I will do anything, says Donnelly, 42, who owns a St. Augustine pressure washing business and serves as captain of the 5-man team Hanky Spanky. When I was in the military, oh dear God, this guy was in the military. I did a little alligator wrestling. Other events include contenders wrestling sumo style while holding pitchers of beer, or running from actual sheriff's deputies. While running from actual sheriff's deputies.
Flo, we've discussed this. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's
Coffee and contemplation.
While jumping fences and avoiding obstacles, others face a scramble to grab cash flying in simulated hurricane winds. Now that would be kind of fun, I would imagine. That would be fun. Because I've been in one of those hurricane simulators, one of those booths that it basically is it's a little wind machine that you stand in. And it kicks up the wind to roughly, I think it goes as high as 75 miles an hour. So yeah. Spectators paid real money, $45 per ticket or more, to watch the games at Francis Field in downtown St. Augustine. Yusuf Shihibi said he and his wife made the 180-mile, that's 290 kilometers for my friends overseas, trip from Port St. Richie to watch stupidity occur on the grandest, most spectacular scale. Organizer Pete Melfi said he expected ticket sales to exceed 5,000. He said he was stunned to find nobody else had beaten him to the ripped from the headlines idea for a sport spoof event, or a spoof sporting event, however you want to read it. We kind of gave a person an opportunity to live a day in the life of Florida man without ending up in a cop car, said Melfi, who runs the St. Augustine media outlet The 904 Now. But he had to tone down some racier aspects of the Florida man mythos to obtain a permit. There's typically drugs and nudity, he said, but the city frowned on it when asked for drugs and nudity.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Man. The Florida man phenomenon seeped into the nation's conscience thanks in part to a Twitter account started in 2013 with the handle _Florida Man. The account touted real-life stories of the world's worst superhero, sharing news headlines such as Florida man bites dog to establish dominance and Florida man tried to pay for McDonald's with weed. Florida's claim to being the strangest state goes back much further, said journalist Craig Pittman, who wrote the book, Oh, Florida, How America's Weirdest Influences the Rest of the Country. He noted that the first flag to fly over its capital in 1845 bore the motto, leave us alone. Apparently nobody listened. Florida today has 22 million residents, the third largest population of any U.S. state. They also share roads, beaches, and timeshares with more than 130 million tourists per year. You cram that many people together, they're bound to start running into each other's cars and chasing each other's machetes. Let's be careful with the criticism and the stereotypical judgment of machetes.
This is
okay?
great.
We should.
Anyone want a hug?
Any?
No hugs.
Anyway. Pittman noted there have been plenty of crazy stories featuring Florida women, and plenty of them turned out to watch the game Saturday. Sally Yarborough and her daughter, Danielle, got tickets as a Christmas gift from their boss, along with a case of vodka.
Seriously, Lana, call Kenny Loggins, because you're in the danger zone.
Hopefully more women will be here like us, Danielle Yarborough said. We're usually the only rowdy ones. The only women's event Saturday was a Florida Ma'am pinup contest. That should change if the games continue, said Lori Ice Fetrick, a former competitor of the 1990s show American Gladiators, who served as a judge at the Florida Man Games. I personally believe we need the Florida Women Games, Fettick told the crowd, which cheered its approval. Or maybe put women against the men. Leading up to Saturday, Joshua Barr and his... I don't know if I can say that on here. I don't know if I can... So we'll just say Joshua Barr and his... Joshua Barr and his commandos teammates spent time whipping up a fan support on Facebook with posts showing the trio chugging Pabst Blue Ribbon beer and jogging in jean shorts and mirrored sunglasses.
Unleash the fury!
Their team name comes from a turtle species celebrated by their hometown of Inverness. The Commandos didn't stop with online promotion and trash talking of rival teams. Barr, a 37-year-old movie reviewer and podcaster, said they also printed t-shirts, temporary tattoos, and large custom flag to wave on the field. We might be taking it more seriously than most people, Barr said. You kind of just have to be a part of the joke at this point.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Do we need a moment, everybody? Do we need to like, you know, catch our breaths or anything like that?
I suggest you let that one marinate.
I mean, wow. Don't worry. I've got the follow-up. I've got the follow-up coming. I really do. I think I am gonna need a moment though. I am gonna before I come back with whoop, damn it. I always forget. I do think I am gonna have to come back for a moment. Does it beat the STD's largest nursing home? We need a cat brain cleanser moment. We probably do. That might not be a bad idea either. There was something I wanted to look up. I'm trying to remember it. I can probably find it right now as I look. It's hard to top. I will say it's hard to top, but I don't worry. I've got something in the works. Let me just find this real quick. But I do need to take a moment. Just need to kind of take a deep breath on that. Give me 1 second. And then I'm gonna probably take a moment to just get some hydration. I think this is it. That's it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Just give people some reference here. I needed to find one more story that gave people reference on this thing. I'm just gonna do a little bit of setup here, and then take a brief break. Take a brief break, so I can get some hydration. Oh, wait a moment. Kind of glad my daughter is not in chat right now. She would probably be giving me criticism on having too many windows open, knowing her, and too many tabs in said windows as well. Okay, here we go. Oh, did I? Now, how did I do that? Jeez. I did not. Something I don't like, something I genuinely do not care for when it comes to browsers. I hate the fact that if you jostle something the wrong way, you go into an entirely different window. Let's see. There are certain images that will always remain iconic. No, don't you dare! It did it again. All right, you know what? Let me go on ahead and let me take that break, because otherwise you're just going to be watching me struggle with my browser here. I'll be right back, everybody. I'm gonna go look for the invader.
I'm willing to bet probably Steps.
He is Steps, because I am at drill and he is not here. And over there.
I don't see him.
Yep, there he is.
Got him.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
This is what the incoming at the coach. Portal's ready. Grab your gun.
Old Eric's town.
Well,
They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern, Eric's hotel.
Did you grow up in?
This is what the Taken feel. Revel in this. One down. That's two. Seconds left. Bury another. Oh, they should have run. Look at them now. They're dead.
I'll take it.
Time for a prime evil. Feel that
I'll
way.
take it. I'll take it. I'll take that. That felt really good. That felt really good. Come on, give me some hype in chat. Give me all your hype emotes in chat.
Let's go,
Do
baby.
It. Do it. Do it, baby.
All right, I've
Hang
got
in
a
there.
super going.
All right, they are right in front of you. Throw it. Hit it, baby.
Yeah,
Hit it.
I got some, baby.
Oh my God, he got him. He got his first invader kill.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Can we get some hype in chat, baby? I got another one. I got another
There we
one.
go.
Let's go. I'm just.
All right,
I don't
Jack.
care. I'm camping spawn right now. It's a black guy doing this, and I'm back, baby. All right, let's kill this primeval and go home.
Yes.
Woo!
All right, melt the primeval's fire team. Melt the primeval. Let's make this happen.
Let's go. Oh, I'm dead. Let's melt this, baby.
Let's hit this. Let's hit it.
All right,
Hit it,
let's
baby.
go out on a
Hit it
win,
with everything
folks.
you got. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah,
Let's
we did
go.
it, baby.
Let's go. How many did you take out? How many did you take out?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I
Well,
took
no,
out like
it'll say
maybe
in your
2 or
stats.
3.
It'll say in your stats.
It'll say my stats. Okay, let's see. Let's see, chat. Come on.
Let's do this. Oh my God! He was
I got
one away
3.
from Army of 1. Let's go!
Yeah! Oh my God, we did it! Woo!
Through a grant from No Kid Hungry, which was a majority of our resources, right? To be able to purchase this truck and get it going. So families have a hard time to get from one place to another place. And I was like, man, why can't we be the ones to get to them, right? And we could lift off that burden, you know, eliminate that barrier and be able to serve our students, our families, in a way that they feel like we actually care for them.
Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, aka Blind Gamer Steve. I'm a content creator and accessibility.
Not yet, Steve. Not yet. No. I'm cutting you off, Steve. I'm cutting you off. I know, it breaks my heart to do that. Breaks my heart to do that, but I'm all sorted. I took a moment to walk it off because, man, I didn't think the Florida man would take that much out of me. I didn't think the Florida man would take that much out of me. Whew. Okay, so how do you top Florida man? I'm glad you asked. From our neighbors across the pond. From our neighbors across the pond, here's how we top Florida man. Police called to Willy Wonka-inspired experience in Glasgow as families demand refunds. Organizer House of Illuminati. Feel the need to say that again. Organizer House of Illuminati was forced to cancel the weekend event midway through its first day on Saturday and has promised full refunds. Traditionally, Florida man is topped with a wife beater. No, we're actually going to recount the adventures of the Willy Wonka inspired experience in Glasgow, and here it is. Here it is, everyone. Here it is. There's got to be a way I can minimize this. Come on. Really? Okay. There we go. A Willy Wonka-inspired experience was brought to a halt following complaints it was an absolute shambles of an event and left children in tears. Parents criticized the £35-a-ticket event at Box Hub in Glasgow after being promised a chocolate fantasy like never before, where dreams become reality. Oh, you're back with you're back with ice cream. Let's go. At least somebody is coming out ahead of the deal because, you know, right now this.
Figured it.
And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
Oh, and I think should be pointed out for those of us here in the States, 35 pounds is roughly about $40. So it's $40 a ticket. Despite advertisements pledging a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises, families instead described the experience as absolutely appalling and a waste of money on social media. Organizer House of Illuminati was forced to cancel the weekend event midway through its first day on Saturday and has promised full refunds.
Unleash the fury!
A Police Scotland spokesperson said officers were called to the cancel event and, quote, advice was given. Stuart Sinclair, 29, traveled 2 hours from Dundee with his 2 sons and 4-year-old daughter to the event. They were one of hundreds of families that had purchased tickets, with many later demanding a refund. Mr. Sinclair told Sky News the promos descriptions all sounded fantastic. It was far from that. On arrival, the family were met with a near-empty venue decorated with a handful of Wonka-themed props and a small bouncy castle. Ooh.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So here's what I was looking for because I forgot to pull this up. Another photograph from Mr. Sinclair, and there's the bouncy castle in the back. And here's the thing, I wanted to. I was like, what? Why does this sound so familiar? And sure enough, Twitch Mom read my mind. This is why I had to take a break, because I forgot to pull this up. Now, if you're curious, TumblrCon, yes, or some memes will remain in infamy, and the picture of that ball pit is rivaled only by the bouncy castle in the back, and these folks with their kids. Oh man. $40 seems fair. Better be a hell of a bouncy castle is what I got to say. Okay, so if you're curious as to what this is pertaining to, I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm not gonna go to my D2 picker armor. How'd that happen? I'm gonna go to this. How it failed. This is an entirely separate story, but I'm just gonna give everybody reference if you don't have it. How a failed Tumblr convention became one of the most important social media lessons of the 2010s. Editor's note: CNN original series of the 2010s looks back at a turbulent era marked by extraordinary political and social upheaval. New episodes air at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Sundays. When the first generations of social media natives are old and gray, they will bounce their grandchildren on their knee and tell them about the old days when Facebook was just for college kids and Twitter wasn't a place for world-altering political discourse. As their rummy gazes search the distant past, they recall another titan of that lawless age. Then there was Tumblr, they'll wheeze. Man, that place was weird. Though the blogging platform is still active, Tumblr's unquestionable heyday passed in the mid-2010s. It was and still is hailed as a crucible of nerddom, where young people gathered to trade memes, pop culture observations, poems, music, fanfiction, art, and absurdist jokes, and they forgot porn, to satisfy even the most niche communities. Years of Tumblr discourse have helped shape current structures of entertainment fandoms, social justice language, queer subcultures, and all manner of special interests one might see at a comic book convention or a Marvel movie premiere. However, in 2014, its denizens learned a hard lesson when some forward-thinking users thought to gather this amorphous mass of creativity and recreate it in real life. The result was DashCon, an attempt to bring together Tumblr users from different interests and fandoms for a single event. The idea was similar to the already popular VidCon, which focuses on YouTube celebrities, or any number of fan conventions around the world that have been going strong for decades. DashCon would not reach such great heights. It was a legendary failure, plagued by the low attendance and mismanagement, summed up in one iconic image of a single sad child ball pit on a hotel convention room floor. Just, let's soak that in, everybody. The teenager who started it all. To say DashCon was a failure is a simple fact. Whose failure was exactly is a thornier question. The idea can be traced back to Lachlan O'Neill, who was only 17 at the time DashCon took place. Like so many other Tumblr users, O'Neill was just a nerdy teenager with cool interests, looking for other people like her. She started using Tumblr in 2012, and it took her a while to really figure out what the platform was for. I saw one of my neighbor's accounts where she would just post pictures of hipster hairstyles and One Direction members, and I thought, what's this even for? But my friend assured me it was cool, that you could blog about whatever you wanted, O'Neill told CNN. O'Neill, who is now a costume designer and also works at an exotic animal sanctuary, always had an interest in small animal husbandry. I started on Tumblr writing blogs about mouse genetics, she said. My blog was called Mice Are Nice. O'Neill's Tumblr experience began markedly better once she sussed out what kinds of interests were big on the platform. She'd always been a fan of Harry Potter and had started getting into cosplay, anime, and the Avengers, all extremely popular subjects among Tumblr users. Over time, she even met one of her best friends on the platform after searching content about her hometown. I was always kind of an outsider. I didn't really have the ability to connect with people, and I didn't know why, she said. But when I met my best friend, I was like, well, there must be more people like me on Tumblr. There must be more people like her on Tumblr. She noticed this pattern a lot. People forming strong bonds with virtual strangers online over things that really mattered to them. Things that they didn't have a network for in their everyday lives. I saw these posts and I thought, what if there was a Tumblr convention? What if I made a Tumblr convention? And then all of you could also have friends. So if you want to read this story, I will put a link in the show notes over on YouTube. But basically, this was the grand gathering that would be DashCon, and I think that was the yeah. These are actual pictures from DashCon. I mean. It was an epic failure. I remember when everything went down online, and man, what a crash and burn. What a crash and burn. And that memory came flooding back to me when I was reading this. And I got to say, I found this on, of all places, I found this on Threads. I found this story on my own on Threads. For anybody that's just coming in late, yeah, there was a Willy Wonka inspired experience in Glasgow. It was not as advertised. So here we go. Let's get back to it. Thank you, Mr. Sinclair, for all these incredible photos. Mr. Sinclair said his children only received a couple of jelly babies and a quarter of a can of Bar's limeade. $40 a ticket, or 35 pounds for those friends in Glasgow. He said the older boys, aged 9 and 10, took the disappointment well. My little girl was a bit disappointed because she was looking forward to it, as she's only 4, but the boys just laughed it off because of how bad it was, he said. Look, kids, it's like you're actually there. It's like you're actually there. Mr. Sinclair described it as an absolute shambles of an event. He added, I've never seen anything like it. It was definitely an experience. According to the event's website, Willy's Chocolate Experience promised an enchanted garden with giant sweeps, vibrant blooms, mysterious-looking sculptures, and magical surprises, as well as live performances with charming characters singing original catchy tunes. The exhilarating and immersive adventure should have also featured a twilight tunnel and imagination lab, where the boundaries between reality and fantasy harmoniously merge. One woman wrote on Facebook she laughed so much the whole way around, while another said she laughed at how bad it was. Another person posted, it was a very simple setup with cheap backdrops around it. She added, it's definitely worth doing your homework for buying into these events. Thankfully, our barns, our kids, just embraced the whole thing and weren't too disappointed. Oh, and great idea to have a person dressed in a terrifying outfit to come out and scare all the kids. They were all crying. It was terrible, shocking, and embarrassing, to be honest, wrote one parent. Sold a dream and delivered a nightmare, wrote another. In a Facebook post on Saturday night, House of Illuminati said, today has been a very stressful and frustrating day for many, and for that we are truly sorry. Unfortunately, last minute we were let down in many areas of our event and tried our best to continue on and push through, and now realize we probably should have canceled first thing this morning instead. We fully apologize for what had happened, and we'll be giving full refunds to each and every person that purchased tickets. It said it had planned a fabulous event, but it just did not take shape. The spokesperson added, we are devastated at how this has turned out and understand people's anger and frustration that everyone has had. It said refunds could take up to 10 working days. Mr. Sinclair said, I've had no money back yet, but the company have said they're issuing them. I'll have to wait and see. So, you think that's enough? Oh no. Oh no, chat, because guess what I found in my research on this story? I found their website. I found the website, chat. I found the website. And no, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they are not in public domain, which is why it's called Willy's Chocolate Experience. It's not Willy Wonka. It is not Willy and the Chocolate Factory. It is Willy's Chocolate Experience. And because of the recent film with Muad'Dib himself, Wonka is off there as well. So, Willy's Chocolate Experience. Let's delve into the artwork of this, shall we? This is just the homepage. This is just the homepage. Oh, the Chocolate Factory's in public domain in 2060. Oh, in 2060, yes. Indulge in a chocolate fantasy like never before. Capture the enchantment. Tickets to Willy's Chocolate Experience are on sale now. Hey, let's go. Dive into the whimsical of Willy's Chocolate Experience. a place where chocolate dreams become reality. Book your adventure now and embark on a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. I'm just gonna leave this image up here from the website. Just you know.
I suggest you let that one marinate.
Your journey begins in an enchanted garden with giant sweets, vibrant blooms, mysterious-looking sculptures, and magical surprises that add an extra layer of wonder to your chocolatey experience. Navigate through peculiar but enchanting garden collection, delicious beans of all colors, shapes, and sizes. Who knows? Perhaps you might be able to grow your very own enchanting garden. And you noticed that you notice how this is AI art. You think this might be the worst AI. How you doing there, Sonny? This might be the worst AI art gone bad, because take a look at this bunny right here. I'm not sure what happened to this bunny, but it looked like this bunny been punched a few times. Some of these fruits have like one eye. The enchanted fruit have eyes. You've seen worse? Oh, wait for it. Here's the ad for the Imagination Lab. And shout out when you see it. Shout out when you see it. Imagination Lab. I'll read the accompanying text. In the Imagination Lab, prepare to be captivated by a visual spectacle. Encounter mind-expanding projections, optical marvels, and exhibits that transport you into the realm of creativity. This space invites you on a surreal journey where the boundaries between reality and fantasy harmoniously merge, resulting in an enchanting and visually striking encounter. Brace yourself for an adventure that would leave you spellbound. I've seen worse. I used to search DeviantArt pages. Yeah, but Sonny sees it. Sonny sees it. It's Imagination Lab. Or Imagination Lab. Wow. Yeah. And then there's the Twilight Tunnel, which they almost got right. I'm not sure why it only has the one quote here, but let's talk about the Twilight Tunnel. Oh, and because it was in Glasgow, in the Twilight Tunnel, get ready for an exhilarating and immersive adventure.
Anyone want a hug?
Journey.
No hugs.
No hugs. No hugs, you wee brat. Journey through a dimly lit passage adorned with captivating projections, enigmatic sounds, and surprising turns that will immerse you in suspense and excitement. It's a heart-pounding experience you've never experienced before. Nice job on the typography here. I'm not from Glasgow, but somehow I'm still offended. Okay, why?
You better settle down over there. I'm going to come talk to you.
You know, I mean, I can only assume the Twilight Tunnel is supposed to be inspired by the tunnel, that horrific tunnel experience in the film, that was in the film. The text even sounds like it was from ChatGPT. Well, you notice too that it probably was ChatGPT, because you notice that nobody checked the spacing here or anything like that. But yeah, Twilight Tunnel. I don't know what they were planning, but it sounded pretty cool. Again, we've got AI art Akindo, absolutely phenomenal. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna go back and get. I'm gonna get some proper music behind this. Actually, we can change.
Secret tunnel through the mountains. Secret tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. Secret tunnel, baby. Secret tunnel. Oh, there was just a pause in the music. Okay. I will keep going. Now here's a good one. Okay. Entertaining entertainment. Captivating. I don't know if that was what the AI was trying to do, was captivating, but it's entertaining entertainment. Experience captivating live performances featuring charming characters singing original catchy tunes, marvel extraordinary props, oversized lollipops, and a paradise of sweet treats. This event guarantees an immersive and delightful entertainment experience suitable for ages 3 years old, 2 periods. And then the crazy frog. Where's the crazy frog? Did I miss the crazy frog? Where's the crazy frog? I see the I see the bear with the growth coming out of its face, and the clown with the melting face. Where's the frog? I'm trying to find the crazy frog. I don't see the frog. The horse almost, but then take a look at this. I don't know what this is, but man, the AI they were using must have been like having a seizure. Catting live performances, Karchi tons, exorcerdre lollipops, a paradise of sweet teats.
Follow them to glory.
And you see, this is why this is the world that we have been thrust into with oh, here we go. Lightning, dim tight, depractions, view sounds. See, when you see stuff like this, you got to stop and go, okay, wait. We got to wait and see what this is. If their QA is this good, no wonder this whole thing was a disaster. No kidding. I mean, this kind of works, and then you get here, and you could probably miss like the mutant bunny faces, but then when you get down here to, you might even miss, because I missed Imagination Lab. I missed Imagination, but I started to pay a little closer attention when I was like, hey, wait a second. If we've got mutant faces in here, I might want to look a little closer. Yep. And then this almost was passable, but then I don't know what this is supposed to be. I do not know. Enigmatic. We all love some enigmatic sounds. So yeah. This should have been where it stopped. This should have been where people have been like, wait a minute. A paradise of sweet teats. A paradise of sweet teats. But this is what AI is this is what I think AI is doing. One, it's doing its best. But people who are producing this AI, and this is what happens when you don't hire a proper artist. We'll do it ourselves. And you're hoping that your brain skims through that, goes flying by that, and they see a paradise of sweet treats, not a paradise of sweet teats. Everybody loves a Karchi too, honey. And then, but what's really frightening is these folks are still in business. They have not taken this down. Yet. So I started clicking, and it's basically the same. Again, it's the same pages. Location, Box Hub Warehouse. I'll do it myself or write a better prompt. But the URL for tickets is not found. Okay, well, at least they've got that going for them, which is nice. Frequently asked questions. Hey, let's take a look. What can I expect? Oh, here we go. What can I expect from Willie's Chocolate Experience? Roughly the same copy as what we've already seen. What does the ticket include? Entry to the experience for any person 4 years old. Family ticket. Man, this is terrible. Yeah. Do your freaking homework, people. Do your freaking homework. Will you have more dates in the future? Should there be a capacity when you arrive, then you will be able to enter without any problems. In the event that this is not the case, we may ask you to wait a bit. Yeah. Sam, you're right. This is ChatGPT. This is obviously some chat GP. What is the refund exchange policy? Tickets are not refundable. The terms and conditions of non-refundable tickets are agreed upon prior to purchase. In special circumstances, we can help you change your ticket for another day. Whew. Oh, man. Is there a dress? What safety measures? Well, okay, let's see. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this one was definitely a gem. Okay, let's get a palate cleanser after that one. This one, this one I just found really unique. This one I found really unique. Brunel, Isle of Skye Lost Village unveiled after tree felling operation in Glen Brittle. Records showed the settlement, referred to as Brunel, was once bustling with around 2,250 people who farmed cattle, sheep, and horses. So basically, they were just clearing out some forestry, and they discovered a lost town. The ruins of a lost village dating back to the 17th or 18th century have been unveiled following a special forestry operation on the Isle of Skye. The remains of house, byres, barns, and corn drying kilns in Glen Brittle have been hidden from view by a commercial Sitka spruce plantation planted in 1977. Forestry and Land Scotland commissioned an archaeological survey of the site before the trees were harvested. Records showed the settlement, referred to as Brunel, was once bustling with around 2,250 people who farmed cattle, sheep, and horses to pay their rents and supply themselves with necessities. In a later census, the population had decreased to 1,769 and continued to drop. It is believed the site eventually fell into ruin due to the system of incorporating smaller farms into one large tack for sheep grazing. FLS said the township was deserted by the time the first ordnance survey, which depicted only 2 unroofed buildings and a field on the 1881 map. That's kind of cool. I find that incredibly cool. All right. I was looking for my office visit notes in my cardiology appointment. When I was referred to this diagnostic test, the notes say oxygen therapy type room air. Did I get charged for breathing air in the examination room? I did not receive oxygen. You might want to ask somebody about that. If you're getting charged for like oxygen, it better be the good stuff. I mean, I've had oxygen before, and yeah, you know, that's good stuff. It's great stuff for you, actually. So yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on to this. I actually got this. I got this the day after the last Grim Gazette. And it bothered me because I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to have had this on the Grim Gazette. So we're going to take a look at this. Best UFO. Now this dropped. Okay, and this is what I want to point out. This dropped on February 19th, 2024. So only last week. Best UFO footage ever captured with video authenticity confirmed. Columbia pilot captures video of an unidentified object at 12,500 feet. Video's authenticity was confirmed by Mexican ufologist Jamie Maussan. The pilot claims the object started moving towards his aircraft. Okay, we're going to look at it. I'll play it after I read the article. A video of an unidentified flying object, UFO, or for the more hip crowd, a UAP or unidentified aerial phenomenon, has gone viral on social media. I'll address that in a second, with many calling it the best UFO footage ever. Pilot Jorge A. Arteaga captured the footage while flying over Antioquia, Colombia. In the video, the unidentified object, which resembles a balloon, can be seen very clearly. However, it's unlike any other UFO footage we have seen in the past. According to Arteaga, the UFO is not a balloon of any type, a drone, or any known object to him. The airplane was too high and the temperature was too cold for a balloon to float freely. Arteaga and his I can't tell if it's Arteaga or Arteaga. Let's say it's Arteaga. Ortega and his co-pilot Daniel were on their way to Medellin and Santa Fe when they noticed the strange object moving in their direction. At that point, Ortega started filming and began to follow the UFO with the aircraft. Ortega expressed fear when the object started moving towards them. The aircraft was flying at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour, 186 miles, with temperature falling to 5 degrees Celsius. According to Ortega, if the object had been a balloon, the aircraft's airflow or turbulence caused by its movements would have blown it away or disrupted the balloon. He also ruled out the possibility of it being a solar or helium balloon, as the sighting occurred at 12,500 feet. Reports state that Ortega confirmed the video's authenticity while speaking with Mexican ufologist Jamie Maussan. In the past few years, we have seen an increasing amount of UFO sightings. Some sightings have rational explanations, while some remain unidentified. The term UFO is often correlated to alien sightings, but it simply stands for unidentified flying object. These sights can often be drones, weather balloons, or birds. So it's quite uncertain what the strange object in the video might have been. If you're interested in these kind of mysteries, we have got you covered. Take a look at the audio footage captured in one of the recent sightings. So let's have a look at this video. Here we go. Once we get past this.
Life is full of surprises, but with our tuition guarantee, you don't get any.
All right. That's what happened. Okay, so here we go. So we have the guy's plane. He sees the thing in front of him. Now watch this. There it is. I'm going to play that again. Are we gonna get another ad? These are Instagram ads, by the way, so I can't be held accountable for Instagram ads.
Life.
All right. So he's following it, and it's around here. It's in this part right here. And then it turns around. Doesn't make any sound. And that's what it looks like up close and personal. It doesn't look like a balloon. Yeah, I know. There really is no audio. There really is no audio to worry about over me. It's just the guy's plane. But so we're looking at this video critically. And here are the couple things I would note. One, it's obviously not a balloon because it doesn't look like a balloon. Secondly, it turned around and it came towards them. Didn't make a sound as it went by. It should have made a sound when it went by. At least I think it should have. Something would have been picked up, I assume, by the sound of the plane. We're gonna make the bold assumption that this guy's buddy was flying the plane while he was filming it. It almost is convincing. But here's the problem with me saying, here's the problem with them saying it's going viral. This is, all right, first off, I gotta name the source of this story. The name of this website is Supercar Blondie. I have no idea. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this crypto bro right here. Coolest cars, Quali USA, and they're showing these ridiculous style cars. But I can't quite figure out what this. I can't quite figure out what this blog is all about. It's not. It is not a web. It is not a legit news site because it has that kind of, you know, it's got that startup bro, crypto bro kind of stank about it. You know, it's got these extreme cars that you know, if you're driving these to the local Harris Teeter, yeah, they're going to get busted. You know, that kind of thing. So I'm already kind of questioning the validity of them saying it went viral. And here's why I'm having a tough time with it saying it went viral. Because this exact same story showed up in the Hindustan Times. And I'm sorry, if you are getting your news from the Hindustan Times, you might want to pump the brakes and take a breath for yourself, because this is not a real paper. And if it is a real paper, I refuse to believe that it's a real. It's about as real as the National Enquirer. This is just one of those places where I have seen some of the most ridiculous stories that should be earth-shattering stories, but only the Hindustan Times is reporting them. So yeah, it's one of those kind of news sources. But here's the bigger problem. This is the exact same story, exact same people involved, right? And it said that it went viral on social media, and they're saying it's April 22nd, 2023. If you're still going viral after in about a year's time, that's pretty significant. This is the first time I'd heard of this. And but it's more or less the same story recycled. Now, do I think then that makes this makes this fake? It makes it incredibly sus. Because if this really was what they are claiming it is, we would have heard it. We would have heard about it back in April. We wouldn't have needed Supercar Blondie to bring us up to speed nearly a year later. I'm calling shenanigans on this. I mean, is it a UFO? Is it an unidentified flying object? Sure, of course. It's flying. It's unidentified. Do I think it's extraterrestrial? No. And as far as it being like a legit unidentified flying object, I'm not buying into it. I'm not buying into it. I don't think it's got the I don't think it's got the chops to stand up. It's not as bad as the drones flying over the gas station. This one actually made me step back and go, wow, that's impressive. But then when I wanted to see if anybody else was talking about it, only the Hindustan Times was talking about it, and they were talking about it back in April. So I'm calling shenanigans. And from there we go to the real frightening science of something that was also that everybody was talking about last week. And this is something I'm gonna have to okay. This is something I'm gonna have to pause the music for, because there is sound involved with this clip. Okay, here we go. This will bring you up to speed.
OpenAI has unveiled its new text-to-video model. It's calling it Sora. It generates videos up to 1 minute long based on whatever prompt a user types into a text box. Take this, for example. If you use the prompt, the camera directly faces colorful building in Burano, Italy. An adorable Dalmatian looks through a window on a building on the ground floor. Many people are walking and cycling along the canal streets in front of the buildings. This is what you get. Wow, look at that. We're done. I think it's time to hand in your resignation, everybody. They're just going to say, give me Sarah Eisen, Mike Santoli, and David Faber in digital form, and, you know, have them tap my stocks.
Nah.
No.
Garbage.
It's garbage?
They couldn't get it. They couldn't possibly get it accurate. This is the first. I mean, what's this thing going to look like in 2 years, 3 years?
So who does this displace, right? It's graphic designers, and video editors.
You want another one? Let's see. We got another prompt here. Step printing scene of a person running, cinematic film shot in 35 millimeter. All right.
But he's running backward on the
I
treadmill.
can't quite figure out what that is.
Not quite there yet.
It's shot in 35 millimeter, though. It did it. I mean,
Look, the problem is we already have this problem with deep fakes. Taylor Swift is up in arms about this. And this is an election year. So for this technology to come to the fore when the U.S. and 60% of the world population is going to the polls,
elections.
that is very scary.
And
Nick Clegg is going to join us next hour from Meta to talk about this.
yeah, well, I'm curious to hear what they say. They talk about watermarking, but there
Yeah, I
are
was
so many
gonna
different
say,
ways around these things that it does raise the real possibility. I mean, forget deep fakes. They got to come up with another word at this point.
I don't know, though. Did that Dalmatian look truly lifelike, like it was videoed?
Yes.
Did it?
I mean, yes. For the first iteration of this, I think it did.
All right.
So, yeah, look at the dog again. And this is where it kind of goes back to what happened with those folks with the, there are spots in the video you can tell. Well, yeah, I mean, this kind of goes, like I said, this kind of goes back to the Willie's Chocolate experience and all the pictures and the artwork on and the terrible copy that was written on this guy's House of Illuminati venture. But watch the dog, and we'll just put, the girl in Tokyo one was pretty impressive. The girl in Tokyo was very impressive. I remember seeing that one. That was the one that I saw that made me go, this is going to be problematic. But here's where you have to sort of take a step back and look at whatever it is you're consuming.
Although, did that Dalmatian look
Watch how the dog walks.
Like it was videoed?
Yes.
Did it?
I mean, yes. For the first iteration of this, I think it's...
The dog is walking oddly. It's just walking oddly, and its jaw looks really wide. Oh, you just found out, Crown, that you got a random sub to this channel. Welcome on in. You're watching the Grim Gazette right now. Guess I gotta watch now. Let's go.
I suggest you let that one marinate.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, if you look at the dog, when the dog is looking straight on to you, one thing that dogs and cats both share in common is that they have they have like very narrow jaws. But you look at this Dalmatian, and it looks like someone has taken a frying pan and hit it underneath its chin. But then watch how it walks.
You're calling out the Dalmatian. You can tell that that's not a real Dalmatian.
I'm sticking to my prediction.
It's just a weird cadence that this dog has. But there was another one that I saw that's even more frightening. Even way more frightening, I think. So I'm pulling this one up. Okay. So this one is this one was another one of the great examples of Sora from OpenAI. All right, first you've got Grandma. You've got Grandma and her somewhat Patrick Bateman laugh. The candles. Now the candles are that one you're gonna have to dive in deep, Cobalt. But you'll also notice at one point, not only is she laughing a bit like Patrick Bateman when she's doing Paul, but watch what happens when she blows. She blows and the candles don't move. Candles do not move. Now look at the people in the back. You've got this one woman that's doing this weird one-hand clapping thing, and then there's the woman that forgets how to clap, and the guy in the back who also forgets at one point how to clap, and he's got three hands. The deeper you get into the details of this video, the more the construct starts to fall apart. It is still, and this is where I get upset with something like OpenAI. I totally am into AI. I'm getting training in AI. I know that AI is not something that we can ignore. It's coming, everybody. It's coming, and it's not to be taken lightly. However, this type of technology, not having ethics involved, not having a responsible oversight. Yeah, think about the deepfake issue. Think about about how people have been like folks like Taylor Swift, Gal Gadot, people have been Scarlett Johansson. They've all been deep faked. They've got stuff that's terrifying of political figures stepping in and doing stuff like that. Well, now we have AI video to contend with, and I'm good with the technology being developed so long as it's done ethically and responsibly. And to me, this isn't. This is pretty reckless. And right now, you could probably get away with using this stock video clip because no one's going to really closely look or notice that this woman is, one woman in the background is forgetting how to clap. This other woman is doing this one hand clapping thing. The guy in the back has three, because we're really looking into it. Or even grandma having some type of episode that, makes you think she's going to break out an axe and start going to town on folks. Because advertisers aren't counting on that. People that would take advantage of this, they're counting on you watching just long enough so that they can get their product across. And me being a former professional actor, me being a voiceover person, me being a content creator, this bothers me a lot. The video has a certain quality to it that makes it look odd in a way. Can't quite tell what it is though. I can tell you one thing it's doing. It's in a shot like this, in a shot like this, Mig, most of the time it's a pan across. It's just a simple pan across. But here, the camera appears to be going in a circle. It's going like this instead of like this. So that's one problem. And secondly, grandma looks hunched over. She looks like she's about to hyperventilate. And so that's another thing too, secondhand. This could really trigger some people because if you've lost somebody to Alzheimer's, my uncle had dementia, and he had a rather distant look in his eyes when he would do something like that. And you have all the people in the background, just their hands are all over the place. And it's the only thing that we've got going for us right now is that AI hasn't figured out how to do hands properly, amongst some other things. But I don't have a problem with this technology. I really don't have a problem with this technology. I do have a problem with how it's being regulated and how it's being developed so quickly that people can't seem to adjust to it. And much like with when artists say, stop using AI art, I'm like, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. If I wanted to do something really serious with OSI, absolutely, I would go on ahead and I would hire an artist to create our emotes. I would hire an artist to create stuff like you've seen my my OSI hockey jersey. That logo was created by Candy Cane Studios, Denise Lemon, and she did an incredible job on it. Could I have done that and could I have saved myself some money and had done that with AI? Probably. Wouldn't have looked as good. Would not have looked as good. Now, we do use AI to create our thumbnails, but those are thumbnails. Those are cheap throwaway thumbnails that we would use. People, they're there for one reason, to capture your attention and get you to watch. That's it. But would I ever print any of that stuff out? Nope. I would never print any of that in any of the stuff that we create in Photoshop's AI, because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. And I'm okay with the AI technology. I am not okay with it being developed so fast that we have a whole new, before we even solve the first problem of the ethics of standard art and AI, that's one thing. We're not talking about chat to video, text to video. But then, and people are saying, well, but look at yeah, but this is the prototype. In 3 to 5 years, are we going to be able to see through it this quickly? I don't know. And that's kind of frightening. That's kind of frightening. And they should be. They really should be. And it's something that I want to find out more about. It's something that I really want to look deeper into. The ethics of AI. And where are those lines, and where's it going to cross? I either draw my Fox character or write a very lengthy prompt, and some tell me I'm hurting artists doing that. I even used it for references. We see, well, that's the thing. When it comes to your own art, I think that's one thing. When it comes to your own art, that's one thing. But it's when you say, you know what, I'm going to say, well, let's go back to Willie's chocolate experience. That whoever was behind that, they were trying to do this for as cheaply as they could. And they were using it to promote a major event. And that right there should have been the first red flag. It's one thing when you have like a little bit of AI art. It's one thing when you use AI art for like a banner or something like that. But when you are advertising what you're bringing to the general public with AI art, well, okay, now you're just now it gets you've crossed the line. You're actually using AI to promote and put forward your event, your money-making event, which you cannot deliver what is being depicted on your website. And yeah, it's a mess. And it's getting messier. And it's getting messier at an exponential rate. The way I feel about AI, I've put it this way. I feel the same way about AI right now that I felt about social media about 15 years ago. 15 years ago, when I was involved with social media, I was starting to see things really turn. I remember I was at an event where I gave a talk on staying safe in social media, right? I was talking about how to protect your identity, how to protect yourself, how to still be able to share on social media, but doing it in a responsible manner. I had 5 people in that talk. Across the way, it was all about monetizing social media, monetizing your Facebook, monetizing Twitter. And it wasn't necessarily like money going to Twitter, money going to Facebook. It was about how do I make money and take advantage of this free platform that I'm being given. And this is something that again, I think right now a lot of the platforms are reaping from what happened, when these platforms first launched. Everybody seemed shocked. That Twitch wasn't making money, right? And people are like, why isn't it making money? Well, I mean, 1, you've got a lot of people on here. 2, you've got a lot of salaries to take care of because these servers have to keep running in order for me to stream this content. And then you had these outrageous contracts that people were locking content creators into. And really, when it comes down to it, when these platforms are first launched, whether it's Twitch, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, monetization was never, they were never built to scale. They were built to be something cool, something unique. And where social media was about 15 years ago, that's the way I feel about AI now. I feel like right now everybody's looking for that next big thing. The people, the social media influencers. Well, they weren't called influencers back then. The social media gurus who segued into crypto bros. Now they're all about AI. They're open AI bros. and it sucks. It sucks. And I really do feel like they need a grown-up in the room. All right. And it is a little it's a little unsettling to see to see Grandma Bateman trying to blow out the candles while someone behind her is giving a one-hand clap with her thumb. Yeah. Okay. Now we get to some paranormal stuff that we've got set up for today. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Let's take a look at this. Sent to me by my wife. Let's take a look. Caught this on our camera Valentine's Day. Here we go. That baby better float out of the she better float out of there, that's all I can say. Oh, dear God. Hey, Sly Gamer. Good. I'm glad you made it home. Mm-hmm. Let's watch that again.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hello there. I just want to, just one more thing I wanted to see before. Okay, so. All right, so I'm going to give props. I'm going to give props to whomever this person is. One, it was kind of cool how the rose is picked up from the top. And then at one point, it actually straightens out, and then the stem inverts like that. Okay? That's some pretty decent puppetry right there. The bigger, I mean, the main thing that I'm thinking about with this video is the lady right here, the mom, who is, I guess she's the one filming it. I'm assuming she's the one filming it, but the mom here, where are you, Mom? There you are. Mom's right here. And you mean to tell me, that Mom is so entranced by her kid trying to eat the crib that she doesn't notice the rose dancing in the back, right? Because if you look closely, the lights move. Ooh. Oh, let me look at this one. Let me look at that again. Okay. So you're saying the lights move. I'll back it up a little more. No, don't make me like it. Okay. That's a really good green suit because I have not seen any kind of distortion whatsoever just yet. Yeah, I guess I would have been more impressed. I would have been more impressed if either A, the mom had reacted, or B, the mom hadn't been there. But that's sort of that's the unknown factor there. And that's wicked good editing skills. Wicked good editing skills. Gotta admit. But yeah. Unless this is just, just another day that ends in Y with mom and she has floating floor all around her. I mean, fantastic, way to live life, Belle. But I'm just, not paranormal. I'm just going to come out and say not paranormal. Okay.
I will miss the time.
Okay, most haunted New York hotel. All right, here we go. Most haunted New York hotel. Ghost moves door and then says they did it. Okay, now this is what I think it is. This will be cool because there's a clip that we have with OSI where my wife and I were investigating at this at a barn. It was the Hayslip Hall barn. And we actually heard a knock come from inside this locked barn. And I asked Pip, did you hear that? And then through the spirit box, which we had running, it went, that was me. So hopefully this will be something like that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's fire this up and see what we got.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that? Oh!
That was you. But the door moved.
Anna, turn the flashlight on if you touch the door. Adele. I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that? Oh!
That was you. But the door moved.
Anna, turn the flashlight on if you touch the door.
Okay. Let's see that again. I'm gonna watch the carpet this time.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that? Oh!
That was you. But the door moved.
Anna, turn the flashlight on if you touch the door.
So the door gets caught in my first criticism, the first thing I noticed about this video. Watch how he walks. This is off of Alive? Okay. Well, watch how he walks.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off.
the way he walks into the room is just odd. He walks into the room, and okay, so I can sort of see how he's getting around this. He's basically trying to avoid, obviously, the REM pod. Hey, yeah, he's trying to avoid the REM pod. But he clears the door, and then still takes like a step or two forward, and then veers off. And it's just a little weird how he's walking into the room.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that? Oh!
That was you.
Well, the abrupt stop to the door, I don't think he kicked the door, but the abrupt stop at the door is this carpet right here. So that is, that's, that I could see. Just see what happens here. There's also another problem I have with this video, and I'm realizing now what it is. Watch what happens when he walks back.
I will miss the times we had together.
Okay. And you said it came from a live pit, but watch what happens when he walks back.
It was fun.
Okay, he walks into the room.
I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear?
There's a jump cut. There's a jump cut right in the middle of this. Why? Why is there a jump cut in the middle of this? And if I take the sound out completely, no, I don't want to like it. There we go. So he walks into the room. Just watch how he walks. And then there's a jump cut. There's a jump cut. And there's a third jump cut. I mean, it's just the first big problem. The first big problem with presenting this as evidence is that it is too easy to have somebody behind that door. It is just too easy to have somebody behind that. The second problem is he's got two jump cuts in what should be a continuous cut. It should just be it should have just been one long cut. Because the one of the easiest debunks you can make, and we actually talked about this when we were looking at that one almost compelling but very, very detail oriented police sweep of the house, was that they went into the door and they made sure the camera was pointed away, but they kept it a continuous shot. So the person can say, well, it was a continuous shot, so there's no jump cuts. But in that jump cut, someone could have been outside of the room, and also he went into the room presumably to get something, but he comes out with nothing. So I'm not really sure what the intent of this, but I'm calling shenanigans on this one because of the jump cut. I'm calling shenanigans on the jump cut. The other reason I'm also saying this is really hard to accept as evidence. And I know I've had this talk with Marv before. Marv finds, and he's not the only one. Plenty of debunkers, and I'm all for this. Plenty of debunkers have dismissed some of the ghost gear that we've used because they say it uses dubious science or it uses dubious technology. Case in point, Simon or Chuck, the Flux 2. Now, for me, the Flux 2 has been a great device in the field. It measures temperature, but it also measures motion, and I always test it. And if it's not working, I'll cut it off. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I have other devices I can use. But what he's using is the flashlight method. And I hate the flashlight method. I absolutely hate it because I know what the science is. The science behind the flashlight method is that you're supposed to use a very specific kind of flashlight. You're supposed to be using the twist maglite ones, and then what you do is you twist it just to the point of where the contacts are like within a feather's distance of each other, right? The idea is that it's so sensitive that a ghost could tap it and make a light come on. Well, the problem is that heat and cold contract and expand not just wood, but all kinds of parts, whether it's your body or whether it is whether it's in a flashlight. And see, I'm lazy. I hear music to be spooky, and I know it's fake. See, the reason I can't say that secondhand is because sometimes we use music. Sometimes we use music in our clips as well. I mean, it's just fun. But in this particular case, again, we're also talking about the one camera angle. And if they think there's something in that room, then they need a second camera in that room. You always need to have, but we know you're legit. Thank you. That is not the case here. The case here is we're trying to have as many multiple angles that we can play with. Lives in a 70-year-old house, plus knows about the hot and cold expand. Right. Well, that's happening with a flashlight as well. That's happening with a flashlight, and I just don't. I really have a tough time with that. I have more. I put more faith in ITC devices than I do in the maglite. Now, if it was one of the kind of lights that had the push ignition, that would impress me. That would really impress me. ITC, thank you, stands for, and I still have it up here, turns out. It stands for Instrumental Transcommunication. Instrumental Transcommunication. So not buying this. The utter temptation of there being somebody behind that door, just too high. Just too high. Okay. Now I said I wasn't going to cover anything at the Conjuring House, but we're back at the Conjuring House, and I would like to see what this EVP entails. It better not entail those yahoos that we saw in this recent video. But let's take a look, or at least a listen to this insane EVP captured at the Conjuring House. Let's go. Here we go.
We're looking at the barn, and behind us, I'm talking maybe 20 feet behind us, we hear 3 distinct beats on a drum. Boom, boom, boom. Unmistakably a drum.
We have our doubts. We can't say, oh, by the way, the Conjuring House barn. No way.
No way.
That was like drums.
I just literally got no. That was 3, and I just got the freakiest. Absolutely not. I don't know if y'all heard that. Yeah. But what mics do we have rolling?
Crazy.
Holy crap.
Crazy chills.
I got crazy chills.
Yeah,
I
my
got
spine.
Crazy chills
Straight up my spine.
Now, first off, I'm just gonna say this is the first playthrough. Here's the thing. I'm not going to dismiss this for the crazy chills because I get those too. You're thinking of an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. Now, would it be considered an EVP? Maybe. I think it is some type of audio phenomenon. But I want to hear this again.
3 bangs on what sounded like a Native American drum. This was the site of a Native American slaughter.
Conjuring House staff. The area the house is located was involved in the King Philip's War between colonists and Native Americans. We do not have historical proof that there was a slaughter of Native Americans on the property. Native American drumming is an occurrence that has been known to occur and has been witnessed and reported on the property. Okay.
back.
I've never been so scared.
So let's mosey this way.
I've never been so
Drum
scared. That
phenomenon.
was so clear. That was so clear. Did y'all hear that?
We're looking at the barn, and behind us,
I want to know who this guy is. Let's see. This guy, Haunted City Podcast. Okay. Haunted City. Oh, these guys are apparently out of Savannah. Okay. Well, that has, I will say, chat, that's got my interest piqued because I do love me some Savannah. Now, let me just see. Haunted City Podcast. This is your new favorite podcast about ghosts, new podcast episodes every week. Okay. All right.
I'm talking maybe 20 feet behind us, we hear 3 distinct beats on a drum. Boom, boom, boom.
Love the editor.
Unmistakably a drum.
We have our doubts. We can't say, oh, by the way, the Conjuring.
Now, one thing I would say that I would be very critical about this, the opening audio is very clear, and then this drops about 5 decibels. Dude, you're obviously editing this clip. Boost the damn audio. Boost the audio that matters, man, not your intro. Boost this audio. It's one of the reasons why I'm very critical about any of the stuff we put on TikTok or YouTube Shorts when it comes to EVPs, because I just want to make sure that you hear it clearly. All right, let's jump in.
House barn. No way.
No way.
This one I'm gonna put into the could be. Now, one issue that could be a problem is they're outside. They're outside of the barn. They're outside, and when you're outside, as you've heard me say, you're dealing with a lot of sounds. You're dealing with a lot of sound. You're dealing with a lot of external audio sources that could muddy the waters. So that one could be legit. That one could definitely be legit because, yeah. And I could see it. I could definitely see. I could definitely see the grounds of the Conjuring House having some kind of juju about it when it comes to Native Americans. I could see that. From the creators of the nation's scariest immersive horror experience, the Savannah Underground, comes a podcast that takes a deep dive into the very tales and lore to keep our city of Savannah, Georgia, the most haunted city in America. Join paranormal experts Chris Sousey and paranormal investigator Madison Timmons as they discuss Savannah's creepiest legends, crimes, and haunted places. Okay. Meth Hogs, Hopkinsville Goblins, and More, Kentucky Cryptids Part 2. Morality of paranormal research and life after death discussions. Spirits of Many Faces, Ghost Con Kentucky Cryptids, Beasts of Bullitt County, Devil Monkeys, and More. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, an unnerving EVP from the old Charleston jail. Okay. Might want to give these guys a listen. All right. That was a good one. I always like it when, now see, that one was challenging. That one was a challenge. Because yeah, who's this guy? That was a challenge because there was a bit of there was a validity to it. There was something there. And the only thing that could throw me about it was that it was outdoors, but I've also caught stuff outdoors that I can't explain. And if it was like something beating up against a tree or because of the wind or something like that, I think it would have shown up during that clip more than just those 3 times. Those are 3 intentional hits. So I'm thinking that was legit. was legit. Now, speaking of legit, this legit happened on Sunday, and I wanted to make sure we shared this because the clip that you got originally, Cammie, I don't think it did it justice. And what I did was that I went back, reviewed the video, and I made the clip just a wee bit longer. And here is one of the reasons why we live stream our investigations. Take a look at what happened when we asked chat, hey, if you have a question that you want us to ask, we'll ask. And someone had asked earlier, I believe it was Dolly? Dolly or Bonnie? It was Bonnie. Bonnie asked right before this, hey, what do you know, can the ghosts say Twitch? You know, or can the ghosts talk about Twitch? Well, the thing is, a ghost, and that's what I'm explaining, is that if we're talking to people from, if we're talking to what remains, they're not going to know modern technology. They're not going to understand Twitch. They're not going to understand streaming. So that's what I'm explaining. And then you'll hear Pip off camera. You'll also notice too, there's the ball. There's the cat ball the cat ball in question is right here. Here we go. If they're watching it from a distance, they're like, that's pretty freaky.
Is it weird magic?
Yeah, or even, what kind of technology is this? What kind of TV is this?
Cammie said, if you are here with us, can you show us by making the ball light up?
All right, we can do that. That one we can do. And I will even go one step further, and I'm going to wait and see what Paratech has to say. Oh, look at that.
It just lit.
It just lit up. And the thing that's really interesting about this, my foot isn't moving. You would have heard Pip move because those floors, that's old wood, so it creaks, and what makes this such a neat clip too. Now, yes, you did said they will know a specific word, but the thing is when you're asking, at least from what Phil told me, when I started doing this with Phil, I was like, okay, explain it to me, Phil. How does all this work? He says, well, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to ask too much of whatever remains, right? You don't want to ask a spirit or a ghost or an entity, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to say, hey, move that candlestick. Hey, do this for me. Hey, do that for me. You're trying to frame it as in, we just want to know if anything or anyone is here. And that was a gem to catch, because we turned it over to chat. We said, what would you like us to ask? And that was when Cammie spoke up. If they're watching it from a distance, they're like, that's pretty freaky.
Is it weird magic?
Exactly. Or even, what kind of technology is this? What kind of TV is this?
Cammie said, if you are here with us, can you show us by making the ball light up?
All right, we can do that. That one we can do. And I will even go one step further, and I'm going to wait and see what Paratech has to say. Oh, look at that.
It just lit.
It just lit up.
Can you see that, Cammie? There's a bit of delay.
Did you catch that, Cammie? If you were here. Congratulations, Cammie. You just got your first full-on response. And this responded with frequency. As if we're on the right frequency.
You did do it, Cammie.
You did it, Cammie. You did. I was pretty happy with that. I was pretty happy with that. And how I think I want to close the night is with this compelling clip that Cammie actually pointed out to us. Now, she says that about somewhere between the 10-second and the 15-second, it's a 30-second clip. And you go to reach for the Paratech when it lit up. That's interesting. Yeah, it is, isn't it? But around the 10, somewhere between 10 and 13 seconds, apparently, we get a sound. So I want to have a listen to this and see if we can pick it up in this clip. Now that I have headphones, now that I have better headphones on.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? What was life like when you were growing up in this area? If you grew up in this area.
Or Larrick's out.
Or
They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Ooh. Actually, I think there is something there. There's something. So Pip coughs, catches her breath, and as I'm talking, you just hear it underneath my voice about living in Wilkinson. Let me just now. Granted, this will boost the audio for you all, but it's not going to change on my end. I don't think I can boost the audio anymore. Nope, it's boosted up all the way. Here we go.
Or Larrick's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Right there. What was life like when you were...
Or Larrick's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Yep. I just boosted the sound for myself here. I'm going to play it one more time.
Or Larrick's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Yeah, that's not a vent. It's not a vent. That's not it's not a vent, and it's definitely not it's not a vent. It's definitely not air conditioning kicking on or coming off, because you'll hear afterwards. It happens around the 13-second mark. Because for the rest of it, you don't hear anything in that room. What was life like when you were growing up in this area? All right. We're that's good. That's good. That's real good. You can't hear it. You'll have to do some editing in for it, probably because of the AC. The AC on your end, Lizard, is that what you're saying? Because let me just
hello there.
Hello there. Let me just see. Let me see. It shouldn't take long, because I'm going to go ahead and just download this and tinker with it, because why not? I can do that. And I tell you right now, if that's the case, nice catch. If I can confirm it, nice catch. And I'll go you one better. I've been wanting to do one of the things I'd like to eventually do, chat, is